signal for track 2. So we got a eastbound coming. I'm at Oakwood Avenue in Webster Groves. Sorry for the angle, because I'm on a hill. So sorry for the bad angle. I'm really sorry for the angle, guys. So hopefully in a few more minutes or so, we'll be seeing an eastbound. I came up Glen Road and we had a green signal. So we got a green signal now. Hope you all had a great Christmas and a great New Year's. Wanted to let you all know about that. And I am sorry for the angle, because I'm on a steep hill right here, which goes up on the crossing. See if I can see the signal way up there. I was kind of stupid for looking, because one, this is on a curve, and North Gore Avenue is a few miles. It's a mile or two that way. I am sorry for the angle. I would film on the other side, but there's no room to set up over there. If you go check UP King's channel, he's filmed this crossing. So be sure to go subscribe to him. I'll give him a shout out in this live stream. So UP King, I'm giving you a shout out. And people go and be sure to go subscribe to UP King. Okay, I hear him. Here he comes. There he is. That was an eastbound loaded coal train. Amtrak won't be due for another hour. And this, I knew this was a quiet zone. Webster Groves has always been a quiet zone. Maplewood, it's also a quiet zone. From downtown St. Louis out to St. Paul Road, it's a quiet zone. St. Paul Road's the first crossing that trains can honk out of St. Louis, and that's the last crossing they can honk at before St. Louis. So St. Paul Road and beyond, trains can honk until they get out to Washington, and it's a quiet zone again. Till you're on the other side of Washington. Then beyond that, trains can honk their horns. You can still hear that train down in the distance. This line gets typically 20 to 50 trains a day. And 60 trains a day would be on a busy day. It really depends where you are on this line. The Chester sub, you'll for sure get 60 trains. If you rail fan out on the Chester sub, you'll catch a ton of trains. Even though it's cold out here, I'm still out rail fanning. It's nice I got a tripod, so I don't have to hand hold my phone anymore and freeze my fingers off in the winter. Back in 2007, this crossing used to have mechanical bells. See, on this signal, on the front lights, we have on the left side is an Electrotech LED, and the right side is a Western Colonnade second generation LED. The bells are Western Colonnade second gen electronic bells. I was tried to sit down at Mackland, but there was nowhere to park down there. Well, there's a curve and I can't see the signals. That's down by an old train station down there, the Tuxedo Park train station. So since there's a curve and there's a overpass up there, so I can't see when the signals change. When I saw the green signals when I was on my way here, so I hurried here as fast as I could and quickly got set up. And here, there's airplanes. And you can perfectly hear Interstate 44. During the summer, you can't because of all the trees, but during the winter, you can. And yes, I'm still in school, and I'm 18. And go subscribe to my friend, Rob's Trucks and Trains, ALT. So go check out his channel and subscribe to him. Not sure what he's up to tonight. I haven't talked to him in several days. And yes, I'm a senior in high school. I graduate in the spring. And a year ago, there was down at Sutton Avenue, which is a mile, which is about 5 miles that way. A car drove onto the tracks that one time. That was like a year ago. That was after the December 10th, 2021 tornadoes, and I was an idiot, and I was out railfanning that night while the sirens are going off. But I did eventually go home. Oh, people. What the heck the fuck is it with people nowadays? They gotta stare. That just irritates me, and people gotta stare. Sorry for the foul language. I'm sorry about the foul language. People gotta stare. I don't know why. People have called the cops on me numerous times because they're cautious. I think I hear another train. Can't tell, but the rails are making noise. Yep, I think I hear another train. Look. It's great to hear that you're a senior in high school, too. Try to look up the track, see if I see anything. I don't see anything. Almost fell. Yeah, I can't see anything because of all the houses, and this is on a sharp curve. But I'll take my word for it. I thought I heard another train. The only time trains will ever blow their horns through here is if there's somebody or something or a car on the tracks, or if someone goes around the gates. This crossing does need a street divider, because I'm sure that there's people that have gone around the gates here. But I'm sure soon there will be another one. This line's busy. And Rock Hill Road is also that way. If you check Trainman Kite's video, Trains of the Midwest Part 2, he's filmed that crossing. Yeah, I think I hear a train. I hear rumbling. If that is a train, it could be a train rumbling through Maplewood. The car you hear is my dad's van, parked on the other side of the street there by the box. There's dead plants everywhere over here. And it appears that the grade here was repaved. I'll give you the backstory of how I started with trains and how I became a YouTuber. So when I was little, my grandfather Because he used to work down in DeSoto for Union Pacific. On his days off, he'd take me down there. And back then, at that time, the DeSoto sub, which is super quiet now, which only gets 1 to 2 trains a day, used to be as busy as this line. And then ever since then, the days he'd take me to work, I've been a big fanatic for trains. I do hope to be a successful YouTuber. I do hope to reach 1 million someday. That'll be a while till I can reach 1 million. And I do hope to be successful like Millennium Force. Millennium Force, if you're watching this live stream. Yeah, and wow. And so I wasn't able to watch you today because I was busy in the afternoon. And there's a person right there. Yeah, I'm suspicious of him. Oh, the lady. That was a kid. Looked like that was a kid. He obviously lives up here, around here somewhere. This is my first time ever filming this crossing. First train on a live stream. Yep, and I also signed up for ATCS monitor. And I just got a new laptop, but it has to be set up. And there's a railroad spike on the ground here. Yeah. So I have plenty of light out here. So I got the headlights on my dad's van, and I got street lights around here. Yeah, there's one right behind me. Yeah, and if you're gonna ask, I don't drive. My dad drives me to train tracks. Take a look, people. And people need to mind their own freaking business. I'm sure if there's a westbound, it'll either be ZDUMP and or Mashin, but I think Mashin's already come out. Because Mashin comes out earlier in the evening. Because when I was railfanning out on New Year's Day, I caught 2 trains on the BNSF Cuba sub, and 1 train on this line here, which is the UP Jefferson City sub. And in Jeff City, on the other side of Jeff City, and then it turns into the Sedalia sub. Can't see any signals down there. And if I'm sure there are trains out west somewhere. The one I do know that's out west for sure is Amtrak Missouri River Runner 316. He won't pull into downtown until around 9:30. And there's crossings south of here, but that's the BNSF Cuba sub, which doesn't get any trains. I just heard something on the ground, and it scared me a little bit. I think I hear a train, I can't tell. And I lived on in Jefferson County, Missouri, and the railroad lines that are out there are only single tracked and get very little trains. The two lines that are out there, and then out in my area, is the BNSF River sub and the UP DeSoto sub. Early in the morning, I'll hear Amtrak. Around the time I get up for school, which is around 6 a.m., I'll be hearing Amtrak going through Kimswick. And I am cold. And on my way home the other day from school, there was a coal train going through Imperial on the river sub, on the BNSF River sub. Yeah, but I didn't film it because I didn't have time. And the spot where I was at, you could barely see it. And I guess that was Monday. That was, I think, Wednesday afternoon. And Thursday morning, I was caught by a coal train heading south. The coal trains that come through here that are loaded are usually heading towards downtown and then to a coal plant out east somewhere. And BNSF will occasionally run through here, but rarely. And there's reroutes from the DeSoto sub that'll take this line, and reroutes from the Chester sub that'll take this line. There's one day, back in the summer, the Chester sub was shut down until further notice for bridge replacement. And the trains were all being, half of the trains were rerouted on this line and half were rerouted on the DeSoto sub. I chose to come to this line because you get the better action on this line than you do on the DeSoto sub. But the Chester sub does have some pretty good action. You get mostly, in the afternoon hours, you'll get mostly manifests, mixed freights, and coal trains. In the morning, you'll get, occasionally early in the morning, you'll get, according to my friend Rob's Trucks and Trains, aka Robbie Welsh, you'll get in the morning, so intermodals run there on the morning. You know, probably won't head out to the Chester again until it gets warmer. But I will be back out there eventually, so don't worry. I still railfan on the Chester. Since it's winter, I'm not railfanning as much because of the weather lately, because it's been cold. It's a day where it's not that cold and I have a chance to get out and Railfan. It's been about a half hour now since that last train came through. I'm sure sometime there'll be a westbound coming out. In one of UP King's videos, he was at Rock Hill Road. It was after midnight, and he said he could hear a westbound rumbling through Maplewood 10 minutes before it activated North Gore Avenue, which is a mile to the west of this crossing. That crossing used to have 2 Western Colonnades Type 1 electronic bells, but they're long gone. The one that was there got replaced back in May, and the UP saved the bell, and it's at Double K Road on the Chester sub now. And I would do a tour of this crossing, but it's nighttime and it's dark, and I don't want to risk getting hurt by people. And I don't want someone to get suspicious of me and contact Union Pacific and report me to the Union Pacific police. And if a train comes, I don't want to be stuck on the other side in case if that train were to stop. And I still wish this crossing had mechanical bells, because if this crossing did have mechanical bells, I'd shake the closest signal right there. Here, one right there I'm pointing at. I'd shake it if it still had a mechanical bell. At the time when the mechanical bells were here, I didn't know that this crossing existed. So I stumbled across a video in 2015 of a guy that recorded this crossing back in 2012. It's hard to hear trains out here during the winter and at night because there's cars. You can hear the highway and it's harder to hear. During the summer, it'll be easier because there's noise to drown out the car sounds on the highway. When you can hear Interstate 44, Big Bend Boulevard, and you can hear Lockwood Avenue, which is just right over there. See, that's Glen Road on the other side of the tracks, and that ends at Lockwood. And there's a car coming. Yeah, and I am also a clock fan too, so I got clock videos too, if you want to check those out. I don't think these signals is like simple a 1970s Mopac install. I'm sure before Mopac installed these signals, I'm sure there's either wishbound gates here or crossbucks. Likely before Mopac installed gates here, it was likely either gateless signals or crossbucks. I think it's a 90% chance that they were crossbucks, but I don't know if I could find any pictures of this area from 1970 and 1960. Because I know First Street and Pacific and Central Avenue in Eureka had wishbound gates back in the late 90s, before when UP took over. And Pacific has always been my favorite spot to railfan. And everyone also, whoever's watching, do not put negative comments in my videos because I don't tolerate negative comments. I've had to remove a few negative comments from my channel. Tripping because there's craters here and holes in the ground, little dips in the ground where the rocks are, and I keep tripping. And people, if you know that there's any trains headed towards me on this line, let me know in the live chat. Hear a fire truck in the distance. And that's not a train horn, that is a fire truck that you hear. There's people that around here do crazy things. And this is a rich neighborhood through here. Take a look, mister. Take a picture, lasts a lot longer. That's something I learned from my dad years ago. As everywhere I go, it's really bad over on the Chester. Over in Dupo, when I'm at the crossings out there, every time I'm always prepared to be stared at. This is my second successful live stream I've done. First one that I've actually had a train on. The other ones I've done live streams on are on quiet railroad lines, which was a poor decision on my part. if I lived alone, if I was out of if I was out of high school by now, and if I lived alone, I'd be out almost all night rail fanning. But my dad won't let me do that, of course, as long as I'm living in with him and under him and his and my grandma's roof. So I can't be out all night. My dad already knows when I live on my own, I'm gonna be watching trains 24/7. Yeah, and it is weird that people gotta stare at you when you're rail fanning. This has gotten so bad, people have called the police on me for it. And I've told the cops that people need to mind their own freaking business. And the cops around here in Webster Groves and out at Maplewood and out in Pacific, they agree. Yeah, yep. Yeah, and people do need to mind their own business out here. That's not just out here. That's down in Festus and Imperial, down in my area. It's worse over in Illinois. Like, it seems like Illinoisans have not seen Missourians. I can hear a train. Can't tell. And a hawk just passed over me. Strange that there's hawks out here in the winter. Normally, right now in the summer, usually in the summertime, it would still be daylight. Yeah, same with me. That irritates my dad to a lot when people call the cops. Yeah, the noises I'm hearing in the background are birds. Hawks, I think they are. Yeah, and it irritates me too when people call the police on me. There's this other YouTuber, I think it's out in California. He got UP reported him to the dispatchers to railroad police. This was out in California somewhere. I may not ever go out there, but two places that are on my bucket list, that's on my bucket list to rail fan is Kearney, Nebraska, and Parkville, Missouri. Those are the two locations and La Plata. Those are the three places where I really want to rail fan. La Plata gets like 80 to 90 trains a day out on the Marceline subdivision. Because if you've ever watched the virtual railfan link, so if you ever watched the rail cam in La Plata for virtual railfan, pretty much a train will come through every 10 to 15 minutes. Out in in a sleepy little town in western Missouri called Norbon. Out there you have the Norfolk Southern Kansas City District and the BNSF Marceline subdivision out there. UP King has been out there. And I know UP King. I'm not going to mention his name on here for privacy reasons. But if you want to, go subscribe to him and subscribe to me. I wish this crossing had a Western Colonnades Type 1, a scratchy Western Colonnades Type 1 email. The last one here in Webster Groves is long gone, but it's at a different crossing. As after that coal train came, it's at Double K Road. And there's new gate arms on these signals. National NEG gate arms. That NEG stands for National Electric Gate. And when UP replaced the Type 1 that was at Gore Avenue back in May, I'm surprised they didn't use an NEG eval and or a GS Type 3. UP had just started using GS Type 3s. They had stopped using NEGs. The one at Rock Hill Road, it's not even 2 years old, and it's dead. But I'm sure it got replaced, because last time I was at Gore Avenue with ALGvo, and he's another YouTuber that I know. So go subscribe to ALGvo too. I'm sure he's out at Kirkwood, Railfanning. This area has some creepy noises at night, man. Ground as hard as a rock. Yeah, I'm not sure when the next freight train is due. The only next train I know that's going to come through is Amtrak 316, the Missouri River Runner. If I had my ATCS screen set up, but I just got my ATCS monitor subscription got approved. But I do have a new laptop, but it's not been set up yet. I'll have to set that up. Yeah. So I'm not sure when the next freight trains do. They'll come up, they'll sneak up on you. Freight trains will sneak up on you when you least expect it. To me, it's a mistake having a no train horn ordinance in this town. But there's people that don't pay attention out here, and they don't want to wait. They go around the gates. People who cannot wait. And I would do a gate perspective here, but the gate mechanism, as you can see, is too high. So I won't be able to do a gate perspective for this crossing. Unless if I had a GoPro like my friend, US Trains and Sirens. If I had a GoPro like him, I could do gate perspective. So if you've seen gate perspectives on his channel, he has perfect ones because he uses a GoPro. There's times when you think you hear a train, and then it's just a car in the distance. Yeah, but I still don't see anything. I can't tell if there's any other trains coming. I'm sure there'll be a westbound, I'm sure. Usually every time I rail fan out here, there's always a westbound. A few months ago when I was at Gore Avenue, a Sunday afternoon, I was rail fanning. I didn't expect an eastbound freight, and then an eastbound freight came through, and in that video you have Amtrak and a coal train. That video is called Two Trains and Webster Groves. I assume that's what the name of the video is. So if you want to check that video out, and give it a comment and give it a like. And out here, there's a lot of curves. And it's hard to see trains because of these. This crossing is on a big curve. And it's hard to see trains when you're driving. And then when I graduate in the spring, and then next fall I'll be going to college, and I likely won't be uploading as much, so I'll likely be busy with college. Then in the spring I'll be busy with finals, so I likely won't be uploading as much, and that's why I didn't upload much in December, because I was getting ready for finals. Then I had to study for finals and that. Grandpa in that car had to stare at me. Yeah, Grandpa, take a look. Amtrak is likely either out in Pacific or Gray Summit by now, because it's 9 o'clock. He won't be due until like either 9:20 or 9:30. Amtrak will be here soon. If you know where he is, you can let me know. And if you check in Surf City Rail Map, which is transitdocs.com, you can track Amtrak. So if you want to check that, let me know in the live chat. And check St. Louis for and the Just City sub for Amtrak 316. And hopefully ZDUMP, which is known as Z-Dump, comes through here. And ZDUMP is usually an intermodal that heads out west. I hear people somewhere. There's people in the background, down the street in a nearby neighborhood, because the street I'm at goes into a neighborhood. I hear rumbling in the distance. Can't tell if that's a train or if it's a car. Yeah, I think that's a train, the way the rumbling is. Then when he's nearby, then you'll hear the rails making a high-pitched noise. So I think I hear a westbound. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream for my YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
I'm out railfanning.
Oh, nice. We cross. Is that cool?
Yeah, I think I hear a train in the distance. I can't tell. What? Yeah, I'm alright. I think I hear a train in the distance. There's a ton of railroad spikes. By now the rumbling had stopped. But if it is a train, it's obviously going slow. And people drive slow across this line, this crossing here, because it's a steep hill you have to go up. And if UP ever chooses to replace these signals ever in the future, they'll likely put Siemens signals in, like they're doing out on the Geneva sub. I might go up to the Geneva sub someday, up to Rochelle, Illinois. Yeah, I might go up there someday. Railfan, on the BNSF ORS sub and the Union Pacific Geneva sub. Yeah, I'd put a live cam where? And where should virtual Railfan put a live? This would be a good spot, but there is no way to put one up because there's no poles. And there's several places on this line. My best bet would be Pacific. Because out there you got the two lines. You got the BNSF Cuba sub out there, and you have the UP Jersey sub, which is this track here that I'm on. I'm along. Last time I was out on this line, P42 was running on this line. Wonder if P42 will be leading tonight when Amtrak comes. Because I prefer P42 over the Siemens Charger engine. And as you can see out here, it's almost a week after New Year's, and people still have Christmas up out here. Gotten my outside decorations taken down. Getting the inside Christmas taken down tomorrow. Take down the Christmas tree and all the decorations. I'll get my room decorations taken down. I have lights on my ceiling. Those I'll just keep up around the ceiling, because I don't bother taking those down. Yep, it won't be much longer. Showtime. It's Amtrak. That was Amtrak. If there is a train down there, freight train that is, it'll likely... I'm not sure where the next freight train is. So far, 2 trains on this live stream. Hey, can you put that a message back out? I didn't see it. On Amtrak, he's early tonight. He doesn't usually come through until about 9:30. So he's early tonight. Yep. You sent the message, it did come through. That was really cool. I like the bell combo here. Keep hearing a high-pitched noise from the rails, so I think we have another one coming. There's the police right there. Yeah, I'm just not railfanning. I'm ready to clock 2 trains.
I gotcha. We just got a call on y'all is all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this happens all the time.
I'm sure.
Yeah, people.
Man, 3 just ready to.
Yeah, people. And nosy.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
There's like
He's
another
out
one
there
down
catching 2 trains tonight.
Okay, just train walking.
Yeah.
Alright, we just had some folks, I guess, call you in.
Okay.
Just never know what you
Right.
Alright. So, real quick, just so my peace of mind is clear, so the citizens who work for the railroad are clear on things. Yeah. Do you have ID on you? I do. Okay, so I'll log into the notes and be on my way, alright?
Yes.
So you guys are what? Walk.
Trademark. Yeah, I'm railfanning.
There you go.
Alright.
Okay. So you can go back to what you're doing. You can go back to what you're doing.
Alright.
Okay.
They're just recording trains.
Yeah, I put videos on my YouTube site.
Okay, cool.
How
How many trains you seen already?
Already 2. I think I heard another one coming down there.
Were you out here at like?
Amtrak, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one around 7:30. So.
No, we weren't here.
No, not that one.
When I got here,
They're like massive.
intermodal, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine gets like 30 to 50 trains a day.
Oh, okay. Oh, Imperial.
Yeah.
Awesome. I used to be in Death Valley.
Okay. Yeah.
Only train
All right, thank you. BNSF over there. Yeah.
Right there off Main Street, right?
Yeah.
Stopped by a train the other afternoon on the way home.
Yeah.
Took 15 minutes to go through. Going slow.
There you go. I don't normally solicit here, but business cards. I work for the uniform over me.
Yeah, and I'm,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm live streaming.
Baby Smith.
Yeah.
I'll put that in my little wallet.
Hopefully nobody will ever need us, but
Yeah.
I don't like to solicit.
It's a weird business to solicit, right?
Well, you know, I work. Being in the business for ever and a day.
Here's a railroad
40
spike.
years worth.
Hey, here's a railroad spike.
Yeah, we don't need a spike.
I got 2 of these in my top drawer.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool. They just did maintenance on this section a couple months ago, so that's probably where you're gonna see a bunch of that stuff everywhere, especially by Old Webster Business District. They had just done construction last week. So yeah, near Northport.
Over there. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. How long you think you're gonna be out here till?
Well, I'm gonna get him out here around 9:30ish.
All right, sounds good. Not that you're impeding anything at all. You can stay as long as you want. All right, be safe, everyone.
All righty, thanks now.
People. Call. Third time in 6 months this has happened. I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. Yep, that was the cops. I'm really sorry about that. Yep, I don't break any laws. I usually stay off the railroad tracks. Earlier, and I obviously missed a intermodal train that came through around 7:30. Yep. I'm a little embarrassed that this happened on my live stream. I'm just a little embarrassed. It's right now 9:20 here in the Central Time Zone. I'll be leaving in a little bit to go home for the night. No, if I catch anything down on the BNSF River sub on the way home, there's anything lined up there, I'll try to get a train there. But I won't be live for that one. I'll just do a regular video. And let me know if you like the intros I make. Yep, and that Amtrak was the last one for tonight. The next one won't be until tomorrow morning, which for Amtrak 311. See, 311 and 316 are back. This line will also get ethanol trains too. So on this line you'll get locals, coal trains, intermodal trains, manifests, mixed freights, and ethanols. There's a ton of manifest and mixed freights down on the Benefit River sub. Occasionally the UP DeSoto sub will just mainly gets 2 Amtraks and a daily ballast, and that's usually it. And I have caught very long trains on the DeSoto sub. Don't know who called the cops on me. I know it's someone. Yeah, and let me know if you agree that people should mind their business. And one time I was like 8 or 9, I was down Imperial Railfanning. This is before I ever had a phone or a YouTube channel. I was young at the time. We were railfanning and the Jefferson County Sheriff pulls up and asks what we're doing. Because we were parked on railroad property. Because we were parked by the box there on Imperial, Maine. That's when the old signals there were up. That crossing, the old signals were incandescent and had a safe trend mechanical bell. Yeah. I also got room to talk. I don't mind my business. Like at school, when my teachers are sending emails, I'll quietly sneak up and look over their shoulder. If they're texting someone on their phone, I'll look, see who they're texting. And my dad, when he's texting his friend or someone for work, for his job, I'll look over his shoulder. I've done it. I do it to my grandma and I do it to my mom. And my mom's in heaven, sadly. She was really sick. But I did it to my mom when she was alive. Your car's in the distance at Gore Avenue. Guy in that car stared see what we're doing. There used to be a ton of mechanical bells out here years in the past, like when I was in elementary school. But then as I got into 4th grade, UP had removed them all. The ones here were gone. There was one left at Rock Hill Road, but that mechanical bell, which was the Western Coal and Hayes mechanical bell, got replaced a couple of years ago. That one's gone. Berry Road had a mechanical bell. That one's gone. Well Avenue used to had a WRS mechanical bell. That's gone. The whole Western Coal and Hayes signal that's there is gone because it got knocked over by a truck in 2014 during an ice storm. Only times when you won't see me out rail fanning is during inclement weather. See, out where I live, they shut school down for everything because there's a lot of hills where I live. and it's dangerous when there's snow and ice. A few years ago, we had over 12 inches of snow, so school was shut down for a whole week. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream, so I hope you enjoyed watching me live, so hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. I'll see you all later.